justify, right? You try to justify the actions post-game, but there's absolutely no justification. This hit right here by Thompson, number 40.
And then the taunting call afterward, right next to the Tulsa bench.
And yep, you're right. And then standing over the player who is clearly hurt, who is clearly just struggling to try to get back up, and you stand over him and you taunt him. I mean, that'll rub guys the wrong way. And especially being Thompson, he's the leader of this defense. People are going to follow his lead. That is not good leadership by him.
Yeah. And this is the coaches for both teams desperately trying to keep these teams apart.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, those are real punches being thrown. That's Malik Heath, number 4 for Mississippi State.
Tennille Martin is into it with number 7 for Tulsa.
Yeah. He has his helmet off. He's taking actual punches to the head. I mean, it's dangerous. I mean, these are strong men hitting each other as hard as they can with no helmets on. Right now, there's that layer of coaches in between them, but at some point, someone pushed a little bit. I mean, but look at this. I mean, look, kicked in the face. There was an actual kick in the face.
This is something that began percolating before the game even began, when both of these teams were warming up on the field. A lot of jawing. After the game was over, coaches met at midfield. And it had been percolating and building all game long, and finally it ends here.
I mean, we talk about physical football games. We talk about drawing blood on the. This is completely different, completely uncalled for, and it's disgraceful. I mean, you said it. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if there are criminal charges filed, I mean, you can't do this. I mean, you can't rip people's helmet off and then go kick them in the face. I mean, this is as bad as I've ever seen these types of situations take place. I mean, look right there. I mean, that is a scary sight. Yep. Get a player. Darren Ray.
That we just had that wrapped up, this Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Chris Conner, Mark Kirchlich, Ian Fitzsimmons is down on the field. Both of these teams came back together, and it got ugly, Mark. Fisticuffs were thrown. Both of these benches, not only they were cleared because they were meeting at midfield to shake hands, but it went all the way down to the far end zone.
Yeah, I mean, this turned into a brawl, and this wasn't pushing and shoving that we saw before the game. I mean, there were punches thrown. There was an intent to injure people. I mean, this is the type of situation where you are hoping that these players are able to walk away, these coaches are able to walk away with no one seriously injured.
The coach is trying to separate the team. State troopers on the field. This is the aftermath of what just took place moments ago as the coaches met at midfield and we were signing off.
Where it looked like he was having trouble breathing. Man, that has no place in football. And I like the way Mike Leach handled that. I want to congratulate him on his team's win, after talking about what we saw. But we all have to go back and look at exactly what happened on film and see what players did what when. And that was his message at the end as well. That's not what they are about. And that's not what, we know Coach Montgomery at Tulsa. That's not what they're about. I don't know what started it, but I know, man, what I watched in person at my feet was not a part, and it has no business being in the game of college football.
Ian, certainly we appreciate that. And Mark, final thoughts from you as to, again, we're seeing these images of this ugly incident that happened after the coaches met at midfield. After the game had gone final, it had been a chippy game going all the way back to pregame warm-up. Coming in to try and help out to prevent further violence, and this is before the game. Mississippi State players on the left, the players from Tulsa clad in blue. It got started before it even got started.
To me, Mike Leach sees this right before game. Maybe this is nothing to tear cloth over, right? People will get a little chippy before game, and then you go play game, and then it ends. after the game, you better be tearing cloth over that. I mean, that's a quote that he probably is going to come back and say, look, I